Hi, this is Jim, the Keys bartender. It's 4th of July weekend down here in the Keys. And I know we did I did a recording from the Memorial Day weekend, but this is 4th of July. And this is a longer week, I guess, because where 4th of July falls. And we get a really high volume of traffic. And for some reason, I may have mentioned in a previous short podcast that we have one main road, US 1, that runs about a little over about 108 miles from Jutefish Creek Bridge to down to Key West, which is mile marker 0. Starts out around 109, and then all the way down there. And it starts out as on Route 1, two lanes, one north, one south, and we have another side road that comes out of the far northern Keys. We call it Cardsound Road, and that's a little longer, a little slower, but it's an alternative route, so just in case something were to happen. But several years ago, we had several years ago, it must have been 9 years ago, they were working on Route 1. They were making it, they were widening it. They were expecting to widen it, make it 2 lanes north and 2 lanes south. And what they ended up doing was there was only 2 sections where it was widened to 4 lanes as passing lanes, separated by like 6 miles on the stretch. And the stretch is about 18 miles long. That's from the mainland down to the Keys here. And it's not an elevated, it's going through marshy area. There's a couple small bridges, but it's mainly over marshland. And I guess their intention was to make it 4 lanes, but it ended up being 2 lanes with those 2 areas that are widened so they can pass. And you're gonna, you pass and you wind up and you're behind the guy in front of you again. So you get some really aggressive people that try to pass in a breakdown lane, and you get some bad accidents on the stretch sometimes, and that's it for there. That's the main artery coming in, and an accident happens there. God forbid someone gets killed, then they got to call in. If it's on the Dade side, they bring in a Dade person. There's a Dade line's about halfway down the stretch, the Miami County. They bring the coroner in. It's not too bad. But if they have if it's on the Monroe County, the coroner is in Key West, which is 113 miles south, and that's hours and hours. If there's a death, they got to bring up the coroner, and that stops everything. So if it happens on the weekend, like this, on a regular weekend, you're screwed. Happen like this, it changes everyone's plans. That people that have to go in and out of the Keys, unless they're traveling by boat or helicopter or plane. It changes everything, because your one road will get, if you're even on the one that's stuck, and if you don't turn around, you're there for hours. If you're going down an alternate route, so you got like normally heavy traffic on the weekend, just quadrupled or quintupled, and people, when it's not a proportional slowdown, it comes to a stop. And it seems like the more traffic there is, there's more aggressive drivers, kind of like doing that, they're Tokyo drifting around, doing crazy moves on the road here. As you get into the Keys, now I know we talked about the overseas highway, from mile marker 107 down to mile marker, let's say 90, it's 4 lanes. And then it goes down to 1 lane north, 1 lane south, and oh boy. So what that idea was, you're thinking, that's 20 miles. Some people must, be only staying in the top, so you lose that volume. Well, no, most of the people are heading down to Key West. So that idea is that, I know there's eminent domain and people don't want to give up their properties and stuff like that, but there's 2 different opposing ideas down here. There's people that live down here and have vacation homes down here, and they don't want anybody else coming down here. They're happy with that. They want their friends to come down here, but they don't want anything else. And then you have the people that make money from the tourist, and that's a lot of people and a lot of companies, and they want to make it as easy as possible. So they got to balance that. I mean, come on, see some of these people. If you're a realtor down here, they say, well, it depends on what kind of property. If you sell commercial property, you need the volume. You have to have business. If you're a residential or primarily residential, sell big vacation homes and stuff like that. Ooh, dead animal on the road. Oh, it's gross. It looks like a fresh one too. Oh. Yeah, this is like any highway, but US 1 just has tons of iguanas on it, and cats and raccoons. I'm sorry about the cats things, man. You get used to it. I was talking about real estate versus residential versus commercial. You got these, obviously residential. You say, well, it's great. It's not bad. Traffic's not that bad. Yeah, you just got to know when to travel. Well, when you want to go to the store or do your normal thing, like going either to the gym, I just taught my spin class. I live at 102, and the gym I go to is a wellness center in a local hospital that's open to the public, and that's at 91. Yeah, no problem in the morning and stuff like this time. It seems like people in Miami, they say, let's get down there at 12 o'clock when everyone else is on the road, and let's spend 3 hours going 70 miles, I guess that's the intention, because these people have been down here tons of times on the holidays. These Miami people know it. It's not a secret that on the holiday weekends, you got all these people pulling their boats and stuff like that, and they're going to come down and all get on. It's like, well, maybe they like it, but they don't behave that way, because they get on, they pull these stupid moves. And yesterday when I was heading to work, it took me 2 hours and 10 minutes to go from mile marker 102 to mile marker 81. And if you do the math, that's 21 miles. And this isn't LA, but you got everyone, and every time someone makes a stupid move, they make like that left-hand turn from the right-hand lane in front of somebody, because they got to go to that gas station because it's a nickel cheaper a gallon, or we got to get ice, my beer's warm, or let's go. And then, oh well, you made that decision, and you made a decision to mess up your weekend, or your holiday. Your holiday's ruined. I don't even contemplate the worst part. If anybody gets hurt, I'm just a regular thing, because they're going to bring an accident investigator, going to check your sobriety and all that stuff. And if you have any beer in your stuff like that, it's 0.08 down here, and they're thinking about dropping it. If you have any, chances are you're going to get taken in. But you've also made the decision for everyone behind you. And that decision is you are not going to get to where you want to in a timely manner. And the chances are that wouldn't have happened really well, too. Because all the way down, you got a bridge at mile marker 87. And that bridge is a drawbridge. And on the top of the hour, all the sailboats, your guys with like 60, 70 feet bass, they line up on top of the hour to go there. And so all the traffic stops, and it's only open for however a couple minutes, but with the volume of traffic backing up, it backs up for like a mile or two. It takes another 10 minutes for them to loosen up and start going across. And so you got that dead time right now you only have 45 minutes of free flowing traffic through that drawbridge, and then whatever accident occurs or whatever somebody decides to do. And yeah, you're on an unfamiliar road, so come on, it's not always the vacationers. There's plenty of business owners here doing stupid stuff, and business owners, people that live down here, but people in Florida are notorious for not using their signaling a lane change. I mean, how hard is it? On a road, I see 2 cars right in front of me right now, or 4 cars trying to get on the highway. I don't know if they're going to get on. I'm not going to speed up. I'm just watching them. She could have got them in front of me. The woman on the left was trying to approach there's businesses up and down the road. It's 45 miles an hour, and you don't see people come up to the intersection, and people are doing 55, 62 sometimes. I'm doing 47, but I'm hanging back and stuff. It's pretty good right now, matter of fact. But I know this traffic thing's got to be boring to some people, but it's really interesting that you can see that the human, it's just the human nature being on display on the road. And we all heard it before that once mild-mannered people get behind their vehicles, it's something. I can't imagine in this thing, like when I book a flight and I'm in the Keys, I make sure I have 2 extra hours, whatever time I want to be there, it's safe to be there. If it's an hour and a half, if it's an international flight or something like that, I'll put, if you're supposed to be there 2 hours early, I'll get there 4 hours before. But target that, because you don't know what will happen. And you may end up being close to being late. If you're heading back from Key West on a weekend like this, I mean, if it doesn't, it's no big deal that you can rebook a flight and you have lots of money and you go, oh, well, we missed the flight, we'll change it to this. And that's not an issue, fine. But if it's an issue and it's money and you can't afford to, rebook or something like that, then why would you not give yourself a buffer? You got to see this when you come down here. So, it took us 7 hours to get to Key West. Okay, well, we'll leave 100 miles from Key West to the top of the Keys, and then it's another 50 miles to the airport, so 150 miles. And, I'll travel 60 miles an hour and take me 2.5 hours. What? No. You're kidding. You're allowing yourself. And then you will arrive a half hour before your flight. I have a friend like that. I used to drive her to the airport, and she goes, nah, I mean, this is before 9/11, but she was like a 20-minute before the flight person getting to the airport, and she was in Philadelphia, and I'm like, I questioned her sanity, and I thought, oh my God, you have to be a sociopath, or one of those people say like, I'm not going to waste my time there. I'm like, if you're a business person, or you do anything that in your business, your time's money. You have a laptop, you have a smartphone. What can't you do at the airport that you can't do anything? I think most of them have free Wi-Fi and stuff like that. You don't have to be anywhere, and you just don't like being in the airport. That's what you're saying, or or maybe you don't like being on time. But what can't you not? Now, if obviously you don't do anything, you don't have anything, you don't like to read, I don't understand any of the excuses other than maybe you have a fear of airports, but you're going to get on a plane too. That's got to be much bigger than that. You get on a metal tube going 30,000 feet in the sky, going 600 miles an hour, defying gravity and the laws of creation, and you're worried about going to the airport 2 hours early. That's crazy. So you're the same. You're almost in the same. The same group as people that think, why can't I bring my samurai sword with me on the flight? I don't want to check it in. These rifles are only for collection, and I don't actually fire them. I'm a collector. Bring it right in the main cabin. Why don't you? It's an automatic. Yeah, sure. No. So if you can't give yourself 2 hours. And, actually, the traffic was actually pretty good. I thought I'd have like 20 minutes. This is one of the quickest days. I guess most of the people are down here right now. It looks like traffic's building up. You got people coming down here. You got to work. You got a lot of workers coming down from the mainland. And I talk, oh, my God, that thing, too. We got this bus system. And they're the real, I guess what you call it. I don't like to say upper and lower. Let's say they're the people on the minimum pay scale ride this bus. It's called a Miami-Dade. I don't even know what they call the line, but those workers are the housekeepers, the people that work in fast food and some of the lower end retail. They come in from Homestead in Florida City, and they travel minimum because they got to wait for the bus, and the bus doesn't come like every 15 minutes. It comes, I think, maybe this time of day, maybe a half hour. So you got to get there 15, 20 minutes before. So they're waiting. I think the whole day is like 4 hours. Now, these housekeepers, I guess with tips and stuff, they do pretty well. But if you're working at fast food and you're coming down here and you're doing 5 shifts a week, I don't know what they get paid. could it get paid $8 an hour to travel? I mean, that's 4 hours maybe every day minimum. I mean, walking to the stop, getting into, and sometimes with the bad weather. So that's 20 hours a week traveling in best scenarios, because then you got these buses, I see them broken down and stopped on the side of the road. They're late and all that stuff. 20 hours a week, and you work 40 hours and you travel. You can work 55 hours someplace else, have 5 more hours a week locally, get paid $1 less, and you would make, with even time and a half and stuff like that, you would make so much more money, and you have 5 hours more free time. Or you can make, just work a couple hours more, 5 hours more. I imagine that would make up any difference. So I'm not stereotyping a group, but if you do travel on a bus and waste 20 hours a week to work a minimum wage job, I always have this idea that the places down here have to relax their hiring requirements. And that would have to be your criminal history, your, whether your education level, whether you even went to high school. So it's just like whenever, we have an all volunteer military, when they don't have enough people to volunteer, they don't create a draft. What they do is they reduce their requirements. So back in the end of the 70s in the Cold War and stuff like that, there had a lot of guys going in the military, 70s and 80s, that were didn't have a high school degree. They just wanted to say, hey, you're going to pursue it, right? And relax some of the criminal histories and stuff like that. And when they have enough people, they can increase it. Same thing for businesses. If you have tons of people applying, then yes, you need to have a high school degree, some college, and take mandatory classes and education. But it seems down here it's like, you get some people working in a place. You just walk into one of these places that the people are traveling 20 to 25 hours a week to get to their job, make 8 hours a week. I'm not saying if you take a job, you should do the best job, whether you make it $2. If you accept that contractual obligation, signing thing, I'm going to work. You do what's required of you to the best of your ability, or get another job. And I know I sound like one of those assholes and stuff like that. But I know they ask a lot of you. But what you do is, if you're that good, if you're a better person than that, you have to get another job. Work that job, look for another job. I think this is something my father would say. Work that job, get another job that fits your station in life. Now, but if you didn't graduate high school or something, and there's plenty of people that didn't graduate high school, then, Abraham Lincoln, I don't even think he went to high school. He was president of the United States. But if you're a go-getter and stuff like that, I understand that. You're going to have to make your situations. I don't know how this got to being a story about traffic to making you think, but this does have to do with travel down here. We talked about airports. We talked about traveling down here. So if you're spending 50% of your time of your work during the week traveling to work, and unless you're writing a great American novel when you're on that bus, or inventing something, maybe a cold fusion reactor, you're wasting your time. If you travel 40 miles to work at Burger King in Key Largo, to say, do you want fries with that? Well, this is Key's Bartender, and that's it for this 4th of July short one. I may be posting this, I may not. But have a safe one out there. Remember, alcohol and fireworks do not mix, literally and figuratively. So have a great day and a great 4th. Bye.